Alright guys and gals, let's finish up the Plant Cafe and Flower Shop by Lego Friends. This is set number 42671. Contains 1,138 pieces, retails for $99.99, and the set was provided by the Lego Group for review. Thank you, Lego. So remember in the last installment, we put up the walls and the roof of this. And despite this being a very interesting build, it's rather cake with stickers at this point. And in addition, this is all we have left. What is it, like 3 stickers? Not too bad. And essentially this is what we have completed. Now we're not done with this model yet, but it looks like the interior for the most part is done. And as you can see, this thing's got a lot of detail. This is more like modular quality than anything else. And yeah. So for today, we're going to be wrapping up with bags 7 and 8, and which is essentially, I think bag 7 does all this stuff here, and bag 8 does a standalone gazebo that attaches here on this side. And I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. Then I'm going to do the review and all that stuff. And I had misplaced the bags. Oh no, I didn't. They are right here. Well, let's begin. Let's finish this up with bag 7. And yeah, so far I have been pleased with this model. I think this one has a lot of detail. For what you're getting here for only $100, you're getting a very good build. Very good build quality. Build quality, I'd say on this one, I don't know, I think it's probably average, probably above average. Build experience, though, is really good. Really good. So, and yeah, I have another raspy voice attack today, so it sounds like I've smoked about 4 packs, and no, I don't smoke. I don't know. I think it's allergies or something. It's like 100 and something outside. This week, it's by the end of the week, it'll be like 114. I'm not looking forward to that. So, well, that's pretty much what it is. So it looks like we're starting off with some kind of arch thing. And I wish they made these in tile form. Would be so much cool. Let me get my hat on real quick. Okay. So I may be editing this video out a lot, just so I don't have to clear my throat in your ears. Okay. So that's kind of the one thing there I don't want to deal with. Hey, at least today I got the ring light ready to go. And my whole intent is to finish up this set here today. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to film the in this order. After I get done with this, of course, I'm going to set it all up. We're going to do the review 360 spin tour with all the minifigures and stuff, and then I'm going to do the mini dolls and then the trolley, because the trolley is very important. We've already determined a few installments ago that it does fit on a regular train track, so that is even better. Okay. Yeah, I just had an early dinner today. Today is the 8th of July, 2025. So I managed to survive another week. Well, it's only Tuesday, but still. And trying to get everything done here is kind of, you know, this set's interesting. I really want to get back into this one. I was kind of like, yeah, am I really in the mood to film today? And then I looked over there and looked at the detail in this set, and I thought, you know what? I'd like to finish this one up, because it's just, this one's really good. I got to share this one. So that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Get it done and get it out of here. Nothing wrong with this set. I just got other things I want to get going here. I have a few tutorials that I'm working on right now, nothing finalized. They're just concepts. Hopefully I can get into those and get those going. And these are really nice to have. So if you get these, those are used also for trees too. Beats in using the square slopes. But if you're looking for a really good build, this is it. I did read one of your comments though about some of you, or one of you was kind of hesitant on friend sets until your friend mentioned you get a lot of awesome pieces and stuff. And yeah, and I know a lot of people are not fans of the mini dolls. I think they're cool. But look at the stuff you get out of these. This is like a gold mine here. And usually these sets go for cheap. You know why? Because most guys are scared of them. If you're not scared of these sets, there you go. Don't tell anybody you like them. And then you can go to the store and hoard them all up for yourself. You know, that kind of thing. And, well, maybe you and I will have to fight over them if you're a dude, but whoops, that doesn't go like that. But, yeah. Well, let's just pop that out then. Been looking for some places to go on vacation. I found some on government land, public land, that you can camp on. And the only thing is there's no bathrooms, so we've been kind of toying around with that idea. Going back into the bear country would be another issue. So I'm kind of thinking about that, get me some new inspiration for builds. You know, you got to put a bunch of those on there. You got to pick up off the floor first. But just trying to think of some new things to do, some things that look interesting. Just basically get to sit back, relax, and not have to worry about work-related stuff. And just like my girlfriend, I don't like talking about work on my day off. So we're trying to find some stuff to do that doesn't require computers or anything. The only thing we're bringing is a phone, but no computers, unless if we want to watch a movie. And we were kind of talking about that. I said, man, you know what would be nice if we can get one of those little outdoor projectors. You know, why not have a movie night in the forest? So I'm trying to think of how I want to do that in such a way. Take my brick separator, I'm going to line these up here. So I've been kind of toying around with the idea. But before we could do that, let's see if I could do it on the table here. I have a bunch of house chores I got to get done right now, so that's what yours is supposed to look like so far. I'm not done with it yet. We're still working on this thing here. But it's always good to just plan out a trip. Of course, I dropped Legoland, and she doesn't want to do that. So it's like, oh, darn, okay. I don't want to just go by myself. I know a friend of mine, if he lived closer, he was saying something about it, and I thought, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So if we all live far apart. So yeah, it's be kind of cool to go to Legoland and just go on. Since it's hot outside, go on the water rides. Those are always fun to do. You know, that kind of thing. So, but now lodging and meals are getting pretty pricey, so you got to really plan your trip out down to the T. And keep 20% extra money just in case something costs more than you expect, like a car breakdown or something. Or for souvenirs. Those old souvenir shops. And yeah, I was talking about this in a few videos ago, about this place up in Northern California with Paul Bunyan and Babe. Yeah, it's a place called Trees of Mystery. I was talking about that too, and I was mentioning that to her. She's kind of interested into it. I thought, maybe we can do that. So it was Trees of Mystery that we went to when I was a kid. And it's like a little trail. You walk up into the forest, and it's all it's pretty much all decked out with a deck. It's paid for wheelchair accessibility and stuff, so it's pretty much like hiking, but you're not going through the rugged backcountry to hike through anything. So, kind of what we were just kind of talking about there, like, okay, let's think here. So we're kind of brainstorming some ideas. Right now, her and I both have full workloads, so right now we're just talking about it. And my schedule's pretty flexible. You know, if I'm an owner, a business owner, I still have to have somebody cover my position. So even if you think you're an owner, you can do whatever you want. No, you can't. That's not how it works. And then now these go here. Well, they sit right on these green things right here. Right there. You're just going to have to wiggle those in. Okay. There we go. Be careful. I almost pressed on those things. I got one in there. So they just rest right on top of these things, right in the center. Okay. I'm not trying to force them down in there because this is kind of fragile at the moment. Best thing is just to get one area kind of tacked in and then stick the other one in there and work your way in. And that right there is pretty much what we have for the awnings. And that's not too bad at all. And now it looks like we're going to be coming in here, placing these on the top of it to wrap these up. These would be really good for maybe a modular. So if you're getting this set, it's got a lot of inspiration. This could be made into a modular. Just imagine, you don't even have to build a two-story modular. You know, just have a removable roof and that's it. And I think whoever gets this set, you're going to have a lot of fun. Lots of fun building this. Okay, we just have to skip that. So something's going there. But I'm pretty pleased with the outcome of this set. It's keeping my interest. I mean, I'm hooked. So this one's really good. Okay. Now we are going to continue on here. Sorry about that, I had to step away. And it looks like we're putting accessories on the front. So this time I actually waited here. And just trying to get things done today. Trying to get things finished. This one I want to review. I really want to share this. Ooh, a black chain. Now we just need a ball with that for ball and chains. That's how I feel when I do reviews sometimes. I'm ball and chained here. I had a comment today. Someone had mentioned about one of my reviews I was a little too hard on the sets. Why do I give the scores I do? Mainly it's due to build quality, build experience, collaborative play, all that stuff. This right here is obviously pretty much maybe 1 to 2 people. We don't know yet. But usually when I go off of grading these, I look at that. Build quality is like, does the set crumble when we build it and stuff? I can give a set a 10 and I hate it. I can't like every set. You know, that kind of thing. But I had somebody say, well, your reviews sometimes are negative. I mean, I can't sugarcoat a lot of this stuff. And you know what I forgot to do is put clips up there. Well, let's put those in there real quick. I gotta find them first. And you know, here's the deal. If you're looking for 100% positive scripted reviews, you are on the wrong channel. At least I'm warning you. I'm not going to lie to you here. But here we're building the set. We're going to see how well it goes together. And like, my honesty is, the set's keeping my interest. I'm not lying to you. Even if I were to buy this for $100, you're getting detail. Whoops. You're getting detail. You're not getting some half-baked build. You're getting detail. Okay. All right. So it's all about the details. Just imagine this being a modular. This is probably as close as to a modular we're ever going to get with friends. But at least it's something than the usual Lego City sets that a lot of us have been seeing around. Oh, there it is. With the police station. You know, why don't we have flower shops in Lego City? Nobody knows. Alright, now it looks like we're starting some tree parts. So right now I think it's probably foliage. We got to build 2 of them. I don't have a lot of these. It'd be good for making maybe some kind of a plant or cherry blossoms. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm kind of glad I got this network TV tuner thing. Because I was watching that old show Alice from the 70s. And I forgot that even existed for a while. I thought, I remember that was the show in the diner, and then my mom used to watch that when she was in her 20s, and so I kind of just watched a little bit of it. I thought, man, these old shows are so funny. And then after that, they had Three's Company, and now today I turn it on to the networks, and they're just kind of. The other night, even my mom was watching something. It was just beep, 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 beep. And I just thought, okay, I can't take any more of the beeping. That's why I don't cuss in my own videos. Because I don't want to have to mute it out. So I just kind of build here. And if I say a bad word, we'll just use the word Smurf. Usually that works the best. There's ways of doing it. But even a few of my buddies and I were talking, you know, back in the day, cartoons were violent. And if you got, I'm not sponsored by them, but MeTV and MeTV Toons. MeTV Toons, they got a lot of the older stuff that would be considered banned today. But why not, you know? I mean, I grew up with old cartoons. Okay, and we'll slip these in here. They just kind of hang upside down. Kind of cool. But you know, it's like I remember when I was a teenager, they were talking about eliminating Saturday morning because of the negativity. Well, here I am as a full-grown adult, and those cartoons didn't persuade me any different. You know, I still grew up as a well-rounded person. I have 2 college degrees because I double majored, and grad school and stuff. I didn't turn out to be a bad person because I watched those weird cartoons. Now I watch them today and I'm just thinking, oh man, I can't believe I sat down and watched this stuff, but they're hilarious still. So I know some of you who watch my videos are around my age, so you probably had experienced Saturday mornings. Those were like a magical day of not have to study or worried about school. Got to make a big bowl of cereal and sit in front of the TV for at least a few hours. And yeah, and so far that looks pretty good, doesn't it? But now today, most kids don't even know what that is anymore. It's like everything's available online. I wish it was when I was younger, but now we don't. Back then we had to record everything, but I thought kids today are so lucky. Would we be building the same thing, Lego? But kids today are so lucky they could just pop it up on YouTube. Like they have a whole series of Pokemon on YouTube now. If you're interested in that stuff. I remember the first time I saw Pokemon back in the late 90s. I was getting ready for class and I thought, I don't know about this show. I don't think this is going to last too long. I'm just going to sit here and watch some weird creatures battle one another. And well, here it is, what, like over 20 years later? I mean, Pokemon didn't come out in the States until I was out of high school. Alright, so this one's slightly different. When you build these, just build 3 of them then. But, you know, to each his or her own. Alright, hold on. Which way does that go? Okay, I put mine in backwards. It's supposed to go, hold on. Yeah. The arrow's kind of... It's upside down. I was like, what? Yeah, okay. So... it's just like I was watching some of the old Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes, or whatever you want to call them. And yeah, now they just got to put more of the 80s style cartoons and we're ready to go. I mean, the 70s and 60s cartoons are cool. But there we go. But that's pretty much what it is there. And we have a butterfly that goes right here, and we got to put one more leaf here. So I'm not trying to make these educational or preaching or anything, but I just like my old cartoons. Even at my age, I got to have my cartoons, because every day I got to go to that 4-letter word and know it's obviously it's not school, it's work, and I don't want to have to be messing with that stuff every day and stuff like that. Okay, now it looks like we're moving on to a little flower bed. I believe that goes here. Yeah, but about the cartoons though. I was watching ones with Elmer Fudd and stuff. Most kids don't even know who he is. And I just watching the violent stuff. I didn't turn out to be violent. Because my parents sat down and told me, hey, those cartoons, they're just for entertainment. Okay, yeah, whatever. And that's how it was. Like dropping anvils or pianos in everybody's heads, yeah. Got to find the most heaviest instrument or tool that you can find. But I got to have... what else was I watching that I hadn't seen in a while? They have superheroes on, which is like Batman, Robin, Aquaman, Superman. They're all rolled up into one. Wonder Woman. And not too fond of those, but watching those old shows, it just brings back when I was a kid. And I wish they would show I wish they'd show a Ninja... You know, everybody remembers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I want those to be shown at night, too, before I'm going to bed. The Ninja Turtles. With Splinter and Leonardo and Donatello and Michelangelo. Can't remember the other one. But those are always like I would watch those. And you had the Smurfs, the Littles, if you remember them. Kids today will never know, because now I turn on to the modern cartoons. It's all be friends, it's all hold hands. I'm thinking, I can see why kids don't watch this junk. I want to be entertained. Even as an adult, I'm like, yeah, these are not too exciting. Maybe it's not a flower garden. This is a little outdoor sitting area, like a little patio. I mean, it's maybe a little garden. White ladders. I bet these are seats. That's exactly what they are. And we were talking about Lego though in our group. You don't really see a lot of kids into this anymore. Everybody's mostly interested in video games. Why do a lot of us older guys, why do we do this stuff? It's like I work on a computer about 8-10 hours a day. I mean, I'd rather do this. And we got Olly just taking a stroll. Olly's going to have to take a long time to walk. But I grew up in an era where, as well as you guys and gals, we had to use our imagination. The computer didn't do it for us. This kind of reminds me of some of those places that I'd see like at the beach. Okay, the chains are actually got to go upside down. So the stud actually goes downwards. Alright, so not too bad, huh? Not too bad at all. Looks really good. Looks really good. But I have to honestly say, though, about the friend sets, I am 100% pleased with the friend sets. Not because they don't use a lot of wacky colors, but these are about as close as you're going to get to a modular without the modular price, because modulars are $250 to $300. This is a winner. And in addition to the teacup, let's put that on the table there, because we've got to have a dusty teacup. We're making a little potted plant here. I mean, I know a lot of people are not into pastels. See, this is where these go in here. And look at that. Bring it up close. I mean, that's really cool, isn't it? Really nice. So you got a little flower. So I mean, just these little builds alone, we could take out of these and put them in our own creations. And that is it. Now, I always get questions asked about extra parts. And if you pretty much have one of each, you're fine. Usually hair ribbons they'll give you are generous. And yes, I am going to be hoarding up those too, because those are very valuable for foliage. And that's what we have remaining for bag 7. Alright. Now we're going to wrap this whole thing up with bag number 8, and it looks like we're building like an attached gazebo. Now, speaking of friend sets using the bright pastels and stuff, there's really not a whole lot of pastels, and this is stuff that I've seen a lot on other sets. Ooh, we got some more of those cool leaf pieces too. Yeah, I'm getting kind of pooped doing the big stuff. But we were also talking about the violent video games like Grand Theft Auto and all those. And, you know, those were fun when I was in my 20s. But now somebody asked me if I want to sit down and play Grand Theft Auto. I'm kind of like, not too much. So. And remember, I think the score in this set was at a 6. Just because of scratched parts, so I think that's what the score was on this. It's like now, I don't really like playing the violent games. They're kind of boring. It's like, yeah, I'd rather play something like Minecraft, something where I could build and use my imagination. I wish, if you've ever played, what was that set, the Lego Fortnite, I wish they would make that more as a standalone game. They have Lego Worlds, but I just can't get into that. You can't really free build like you can in some of the other games. And there was a mod for Lego Worlds where you could import a model. I did try to import one of my houses in there, but with all the advanced snot methods, it made it impossible. But now with the fact that doors open up and stuff, it might be possible. And yeah. So it looks like this goes over to that. If we put it on the very end with no other pieces connecting to it, I think we can go get away with 3 people, but I'm thinking probably 2. 2 builders. Probably 1 would be recommended for this, but you know, this is a piece that I've got a bunch of now. Now, I had a viewer ask, you know, Jay, you must get a lot of parts from these. Yes. It's not a lot of parts for me to just build massive mocks. Like, I'm looking for basic bricks. Like, just bricks like this. Just very basic stuff. Nothing modified on it. And a lot of the newer sets now, they don't come with a lot of the big basic pieces to build things. You know, it comes with the frilly stuff. You do need that for finishing touches, but you know, not for the other things. And we're going to have to do a sticker here, which is sticker number 9. That one right there. Not sure. It looks like just a bunch of leaves on a tile, because that's where it's going on. And yeah, I will rip that off when I'm done. I'll show you here in a second. Especially when I get my fingerprints under there. Yeah, I'll rip that off when I'm done with all this. That will go. So now we're getting into the little nitty-gritty stuff here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, I cannot wait to get this mop cut off my head. Why do I let it go so long? I don't know. I just work, being lazy. I got plenty of chores. I don't need to have any more. I got to do it though. Once I get it cut off, I'm like, told my girlfriend, I said, once I get this stuff cut off, we're going out for a nice dinner. Because right now, I just kind of look kind of questionable. Alright, so sticker number 8 is this one here. Goes on this tile. Don't have really a lot of pink 2x4s, so that will get ripped off when I'm done. Now keep your sticker sheet. We still got another one left to do. Well, I did not get that on there right. This is why the set's getting a low score as it is. Stickers and glass pieces, these are not easy for me to put on. It's a skill issue, Jay. You shouldn't do that. Well, I did. Alright. These I can always use, just not in that color. In gray. Yeah, but I've been pretty pleased with this set. It's not boring. I just have a lot of other sets to review after this one here. And I still have a batch of sets coming in. I don't know when they're going to arrive, but I'm slowly cleaning out the shop. I'm just all over the place right now trying to make some space. And Lego, you know, it doesn't seem like it takes a lot of space up. But when you start getting when you start obtaining and just getting a lot of parts, it will take up a lot of space. And in one of my reviews, I made a mistake in the review. I know some people are going to call me out on it. It was that dream car that I didn't really care that I wanted. And I kept thinking it was made by Lego Dreams or something like that. It wasn't. I don't know where I came up with that. I think somebody said it was probably related to it. But I just have a video that just got done. Well, that's going to have to wait right now. So I thought, well, I made a boo-boo, and it's a review. It's not like a tutorial, because tutorials I'd be going all over the place. And I don't want to have to refilm the whole entire thing. And I could do and re-edit, process it, and send it up. And it's just really kind of just time consuming at this point to do those. And yes, they do make glass that fits in these. These I don't know what I would use them for. But, you know, well, a gazebo obviously. We don't need that right now. Hoping you got a better view than I do. I'm just hoping you get to see what I'm doing here. But if you're interested in a really good build, here you go. At least Lego's not paying me to say that. I'm telling you. This is my feelings. Wow, a yellow window frame. You don't even see those anymore. A lot of these pieces now are just kind of so obscured. I think a lot of the things now we've been more interested in is, oops, oh, okay, that does go in there, but be careful, this is very loose. A lot of us now are mostly interested in these really elaborate builds. We kind of forget, let's go back in time, let's build something very basic. And I don't get it. Now this piece goes in here, right there. Maybe it's some kind of a counter, I don't know. Well, we have one more sticker left. It may go on that. We don't know. Well, yeah, it does, obviously, because that's the next step after this one here. Okay. Thing bad about wall panels, it just kind of leaves the inside kind of undesired. But my plan is to get this one done and get it out of here. It's fun, but I got plenty of other ones. And then now we got to put sticker number 12 onto that thing there. Been hearing about all the plane crashes lately. Every time I hear a jet flying over, I'm like, please don't stop here. There we go. Alright. And that leaves the sticker remaining. I'll have to edit that out because I said a bad word, so I will mute that out or just cut it out. I meant to say sticker sheet. Yeah, I got to keep these friendly on YouTube. We got to make it family friendly. Sometimes some words just slip. The F word definitely not. That one doesn't really sound like anything I commonly use. All right. Oh wow, dark azure. Dark azure is another color I'd like to have a bunch of that I just don't have enough of. And it looks like I'm going to combine step 207 and 208 together because it's just taking these and putting them around here. And then 209 and 2010 we can combine. This is just like a little awning that goes around. Where were these round pieces here when I was building my other stuff? What did I have to do? Stick tiles in there or stick some angle plates and compensate for it. Now we don't have to. Okay. Well, oh, there it is. It's like, where did it go? Whoopsie. And then these go on the top here. It's starting to look like something. Well, Butterfingers, what's the right color for butter, huh? Yeah, I got some big giant butter containers that I can't wait to grab a hold of because I need to put some parts up. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Looks pretty good. Alright, apparently they have these in nice orange. I may be inclined to get those. Jay, you and your exotic parts. Yeah, why not, you know? Why not? Okay, now it looks like we're getting ready to put some accessories, but here's a piece I've never seen before. No, that's not bent, that's how it is. Huh, looks almost like a piece of railing. But it goes in here. Maybe it's a rain gutter, or it could be a tree too. Like that. And I think that's what we're building now. Yeah, with all the lights on in here, it does get toasty. And you know what I forgot to do? Go over there and put the video in. I could do it now, but I'll do it after I get done filming this here. I think you guys and gals who get this set, you're in for a treat. You're in for a real good treat. At least I don't lie to you. Because honestly, you'd hear me belly aching through the whole build. It's just the stickers and all that stuff are kind of dragging it down. Scratch pieces make it feel cheap, but it just, you know, you think with all me complaining to Lego, you think they'd care, but they don't. Okay. Yeah, that's a tree, all right. Except, all right, you know what I'm going to do? Just take this whole thing out. Just shove it all the way up in there. It'd be a lot better doing it like that anyways. And I have 53 minutes left. So your tree should look like that. Okay. And we got to put our top piece on to shade the limbs off. Now it looks like we're putting together some kind of shelves, and I thought I had you on mute. Well, now you have been silenced. These phones, I have so many devices in here, like, okay, it should be muted. It wasn't muted. Okay, well, I muted it now. Yeah. That falls on the ground, and that's hard to see because it's the same color as the floor. I'm kind of getting pooped of little pieces at this point. Ollie's almost to the end here. Is that what they want in there? I have another buddy that likes doing this stuff all the time. He builds his own stuff or builds sets. He could sit here for hours putting the stuff together. For me, I can only do this for so much, and then I have to stop. Oh, that comes in red. That makes a nice little rose piece. Alright, we got some coral. Alright. Maybe it's some kind of blue orchid on that. Never seen those teeth pieces in green, but there it is. Yeah, I'm going to be inclined to order some of these little tulip pieces. Just order a bulk amount of them. And just hang on to them. It'd be a nice little part to have around just for in case I build like more decorative stuff. But I'm like some of you guys and gals, I really want to get back into house building, but if I do, that's the thing though, I gotta score up some time. And speaking of scoring up some time, because I just remembered, thank you to my main channel contributors. I appreciate it, because that will help me score up some time. I want to thank my Patreon members for taking the time to join Patreon, ask questions, request building guides, all that stuff, in addition to my Rebrickable customers. And if you have ideas, just ask me. I may already have the building guide written up. You never know. And in addition to all that, thank you to my subscribers and people who comment. I always like that. And liking the videos and stuff. And you know, if you like these type of videos, stick around. And if you don't, I'll understand. This is not for everybody. Especially for some who watch a grown man put this stuff together. You know, it's not for everyone. But once again, I thank you. I appreciate it. So we're just putting together the shelving now. This is a nice little accessory piece to put in your, let's say you're building a greenhouse or something. There you go. Put that right there. Not sure. Maybe it goes right over here because that's kind of bare. I bet that's where that's going to go. Oh no, Olly, you're getting close. You're almost ready to join everybody. Oh, a bee. Speaking of bees, I thought I killed the wasp off. What are they doing? They're building a nest in another place. I thought, okay, well, it's really time to clean the side of the house off. So I've been slowly taking things apart, disposing of old items that I don't need, recycling things. So they have less places to build nests. So over there now it's starting to look pretty clean. And I literally got probably about 200 brick pavers. So I'm just going to finish up the sidewalk over there very slowly, and that would be it. Alright, now we're going to place this. Okay, it wraps right around the side here. Well, I'm going to attempt to put it around the side. Press that down in there. This is probably what's scaring me. But I'm just going to press down on that thing and just do it very slow. You don't want to really get aggressive with this because this is really just held in kind of that. But there's your shelving. And we still have some pieces remain like leaf pieces. Okay, we're not quite done yet. Alright, now we got to connect this up to the main model. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and continue on here and just build on just this. I'm hoping this can be built. It looks like it's just accessories at this point. And looks like we are building a daisy. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. Don't want to deprive you there. I like these new type of flowers because you can get pretty crazy with these. And they have this just sitting right in here. So this is meant to just hold loose flowers. And then the next one here looks like it is probably a rose. That's always cool. Give that to your girlfriend. I was lucky. My girlfriend doesn't care much for flowers. She likes them, but not like she expects them. I still get her flowers anyways. Whoops, well, we don't want that just falling in there. And after, where does the rose go? Goes in there. Okay. One more we got to build. Looks like this one here looks like it's some kind of pink and purple thing. We don't know yet. We haven't gotten all that far. And of course you can build these kind of sloppy. Just this alone right here is just good little submodels. So the ice cream cones work good for like a bundle of flowers. And this just sits right in there. They just sit in there so you can pull them out. Okay. That looks really good. That's nice and cluttered. And that's it. And it snaps on with... So apparently Olly's going to give flowers to... What's his name? Peanut? I can't remember his name again. Yeah, it's just called Nugget. That was close. And then that's it for that. And this is what we have remaining for bag 8. Lots of little pieces here. That's it. Alright, we're going to call this now setting up. Let's put it together here real quick. This should snap in very easily. So I'd say maybe 3 people. This one here being the most involved. Okay. And then I'm going to start setting it up and getting it ready for review. I may have to move some things, and this right here will snap in here, right there. So I'm hoping it goes in without it breaking. There we go. Kind of loose there, but hopefully that's not a bad sign. And yeah, I mean, that looks really good. That's a nice little play set. Look at all the clutter. Look at all the items. That is just featured rich with things. And yeah, if you're getting this for your daughter, she's really going to like this one here. Really. Okay. I mean, I'm a dude and I like it, so it's really fun. Now, how do you pick this up? I'm going to just scoop my hands right here between the door right here. I'm just going to pick it up, plop it onto there. Now, I don't expect everybody to have one of these, but this is what this is. It's just a Lazy Susan that I use. The plywood I cut myself. Yes, I can cut pretty good circles with the bandsaw. And I just made my own piece, but I'm sure you can go to a lumber store and they will probably have that already cut for you. Okay. And then now we're going to start getting all this gear here going, because now we're going to start getting it ready for the review. And I'm thinking of dropping the camera down. So you know what that means. Be prepared. You want to look away because it's going to get bouncy here. And I'm going to have to rest my shoulder because I don't want that to come flying off here. Whoa, you're going to see a little too much down there, huh? Look at all that dust and extra parts and stuff. At least I show you all the behind the scenes. Most people are not interested in behind the scenes, but I want you to know that I'm a real person, no AI involved. It's all my mistakes. All right, we'll get that, let's see here, get that lined up with the horizon, because sometimes I'll get my loppy review specials here, and just enough to see it. Of course, it's off center because the camera is. And I think what we're going to do with the tour is, this is my game plan with this. Obviously, I'm going to back this camera when I do the review. The close-up tour, it's going to be hand cam, of course. There's no way I can pick this thing up and deal with it. But don't move. Stay right where you are. Don't do anything silly. So this one's going to be kind of a chore to film. At least it's horizontal, it's landscape, it's not a portrait. Keep that right in the middle, or I'll just push it back for this. And for the trolley, what I'll do is I'll just leave it like that when I do... I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I'm trying to fit everything on the turntable here for the review portion, and I'll do my thumbnail as is. Or I could have just left it on here. I got 40 minutes. I got plenty of time. I think what I'm going to do, let me take everything off here. It's easier to do the final on here, because I just got to do one established shot for thumbs. And I'm going to plop that down there. Is it easy to move? Yeah, but I'd still be careful with it. Yeah, that's much better, because then I can just do it like this. YouTube has this little time thing down there. So we'll put this here as the trolley. So it looks like we got more there. And then the mini dolls. So now I could just sit here and not have to do all these. But you know what, it would just be easier just to kind of have them, like, here's the angle. I got to make sure I keep them kind of where they're staring at the camera. I found it out to be the best thing to do. And we'll put Olly over here. And we got Nugget. She's Nova. I can't remember her name. Is it Miska or Aliya? It's Aliya. Nova, Olly, and Esma is the only one I have never seen before. And there we go. Let me get this a little closer here for you. But that's essentially what it is. Now, it's a nice play model. It really is. So, the next scene you're going to see after this, of course, is the minifigures, or the mini dolls. But for me filming, I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into the review. But before I do, I'm going to take a thumbnail picture of this, because it's pretty good the way it is. Just have to clean it up. Overall, I'm pleased, but unfortunately it's a 6. Stickers and the there was something else that was really important. Scuffed pieces. Build quality save is average, probably half a point. I'm going to say a flat 6. No more, no less. But it's not bad for what you're getting here. Not bad at all. Well, let's take a look at the mini dolls. First, we're going to start with Nugget, and he's an interesting creature. Not much to see with him. And here we have Nova with the $5 coin, and Aliya. So it looks like they're ready to ride the trolley we're going to be taking a closer look at here. We got Olly and Esma. And honestly, these are a nice set of mini dolls if you like mini dolls. Next we have the trolley or city car, and this is essentially what it is. That's a sticker. Most of all the graphics you see on these builds are all stickers. I like the plants used in here. Also got a little step in here. And this top does remove to take a look at the interior. So we got a place in here for the conductor to sit, as well as possibly up to 4 passengers. So we're going to grab a mini doll here. I'm sure Esma's probably the train conductor. Now her wig does come off, so if it keeps doing that, you're going to have to go in the train scout. Well, car, I got to be careful. Somebody might correct me on that. So she just sits right down in there. The chain might be in the way. See, her wig just comes off. We'll just drop that back down, and as you can see, though, except for the wig, yeah, she does fit in there pretty easily. The chain, I guess, is to keep the passengers from walking in there. And there's plenty of headroom in there, too, so she can actually... Let's get another mini doll. Olly wants a turn now. He can stand right on the studs. And then you can put the top on. It just sits right on place. It doesn't really snap in there. Now, if for those who are not believers, this does work with a regular train track, believe it or not. So I just got this. This doesn't come with the set, but indeed, it does fit on there. Not a whole lot of clearance on the bottom, so probably a few modifications, but it is possible that this would work for train tracks. It's a nice, good idea. And honestly, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those vehicles that a few of us are going to probably clone for our cities. Just change the color up a bit. You pretty much got a trolley that you can have running through your city. Finally, we have the cafe and flower shop, I'm presuming. And this is essentially what it is. So right here we got ourselves a little outdoor eating area. This is really cool. I like the use of these chains. And don't worry, we're going to take a close-up look at everything in a bit. Here we got the front entry doors. And I like this greenery on top of here. A lot of the features that are used in this look like something you'd see in a modular, which is really cool. And it looks like we got ourselves some kind of a takeout window here. So this is also a takeout restaurant too. And in addition, we have the little flower shop. And these little flowers here can come out of this little container. Let's see if I can get one out here for you. Well, they're kind of bunched in there. Well, here. Dropping the merchandise. You know, so this is what they are. And the minifigures can hold on to these, or mini dolls. Well, both of them can. Put that back in there. And you got some more greenery that continues onto this side here. Now the interior of this is fully playable. You can play in here. And maybe for adult hands this might be a little too tight. But in this area there's a lot of room here. Now look at all the tiling that's used throughout the bottom of this. This was built with care. This was built with a lot of care. You got a little grill here. This must be the kitchen. You got the little cashier's counter and a little place to eat in here. Just look at all the greenery. This thing is just packed full of colors. Now this obviously is scaled for mini dolls, so of course you can put Nugget in here. That's probably Nugget's bed, but why would they have him in the kitchen? I don't know, but usually animals are cleaner than humans. That's probably where he sits at. And of course you can put your mini dolls in here. And I don't know who's the chef. Well, Esma, we can have her cook since her wig's fallen off. Maybe she's going to make that hair surprise special. There is studs inside here that you can place your mini dolls down on. This area here, as you can tell, I'm having a hard time. I'm sure little hands can easily reach in there, but for adults it could be a bit tight. Managed to get her in there. And then we got a place to sit. Now a lot of this stuff in here, as you can see, is all graphics. So it's all stickered. And then of course you got Olly here. See, like in here for example, I would have a hard time putting him in here. I would have to put him in here and slide him in. And yeah, it's doable for adults, but for children this should be perfect. And you just got like a watering can and stuff. I mean, look at all the accessories. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Well, this is not going to serve justice. Let's take a closer look. Here we have the front entry into the cafe, and I do like the style of handles. Unfortunately, these doors came in rather scuffed, so it's kind of a bummer there. But I do like the use of the greenery in here. Look at all that. And all the pink leaves. Here's that outdoor eating area. I like the idea for that, especially with the chains. Now that's all stickered, unfortunately. I wish it was all printed graphics. Even those windows, I hope those are printed. Those would make good mock pieces, but sadly they're not. And here we have the flower shop, and this does detach if you want. There's a close-up of those flowers that remove. They just rest inside this little holder, so you can take them out and have your mini dolls grab onto them. Here's some shelving on this side here. Various plants. Here's the inside, where Olly's hanging out at. I do like the roof on that. That's pretty cool. And then we have ourselves an airy kitchen. Got a watering can here and pair of shears just sitting in there. That's kind of hard to grab those. But here's the close-up of the grill. Looks like we got ourselves a little blender and teacup and such. And yeah, it's scaled for mini dolls obviously, but look at all the tile work in here. It's a pretty intricate design just for being a friend set, but friend sets have been known to be really caked with features. Here we got Aliya here just waiting for her order. Got a little teapot in the background. And I like this little thing here where this large bush is growing in here. And one of these was sadly scuffed, and let's keep that for the review. I do like the use of these window panels that they use here. Give this a two-toned effect. And the skylights here are really cool. Look at that. That's a lot of engineering in there, how those went together. If you watch the build installments, those were pretty fun. I was really hoping these would be printed, but they're stickers. What does that look like on the inside? Let's see if I can get a better view of it here. Pretty much that's what it is. See if I can get a better angle for you. Even I'm having a hard time looking around in here. But look at all this stuff you can play with and stuff. There's a lot of things to do with this set. This is not just a shelf queen here. This is meant to be played with. And it's just full of detail. Look at all that. I wish Lego City sets were like this, but well, that's why we have friends. But you want to know my thoughts? here they are. Let's begin with build quality for the review, and honestly this set is average to above average. I didn't really experience anything flaking off, but the stickers were the main drag on this set, in addition to some of the transparent pieces being scuffed and pitted. But these larger stickers on the skylights and these windows were a bit rather difficult to put on. So any of the larger stuff was just much of a challenge, and two, the stickers are transparent, so you better have good vision to put these on. Even I was struggling with them. So the stickers were okay, but not really friendly for me anyways. Now my build experience was something else. Honestly, this was a set I enjoyed putting together, and there's lots of bright colors used, lots of accessories to build, in addition to some new building techniques. So if you're looking for something that looks almost like a modular or has some modular features, this one's it. This one's got a lot of detail for such a very small build. Look at all the cluttering. There's plenty of things. You've got plenty of accessories to go with this set, in addition to the 4 mini dolls and Nugget. Look at all the flowers. There's just so much to do here, so much to see, which leads to play value. And as you saw, there's plenty of room in the interior for access, accessories, stuff all around. So this is a really good set for play. Now, as for city drop-in value, you'd have to finish up the back of this. Place is in a city. But that trolley fits on a regular train track, so just imagine you use it as a city car. This would be great to use just as a car for any Lego city or even a friend's theme. Just change the colors to your liking and you got yourself a whole new build. In addition, there's a lot of unique pieces that you can use to enhance other creations, or you can make an alternative model out of this and come up with your own designs. There's enough pieces here probably to come up with another flower shop, cafe, or even a house. Just a lot of things to derive out of this set. Look at all the detail that you can use to transplant into other builds. Now sadly my score on this set is going to be a 6 out of 10. Why such a horrible score for a nice set? Scratch pieces. A lot of this glass stuff arrived in scratch, and the big stickers. That's probably the only two major things, maybe just a little bit off for build quality. But other than that, the building guide is easy to follow, and in addition, it is possible up to 3 people can build the set. Unfortunately, this is the biggest piece. So you can have one person build these 2 items, and another person can build this. So this one here is covered in building guides 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I believe, and this one's 8. So it's possible, but I was hoping this one would be more modular, like if this piece were to plug in here, but I can probably see why they did not do that. But all around though, it is a nice set. I was just kind of disappointed with the stickers and the scuffed pieces. But I want to know your thoughts on this set.